20
Cool,
minutes.
cool.
She literally gives you a hug.
I think I ran into that lady.
She's like, let me hold you, squid face. It's
Okay.
called it's called Baldachin blessing. Here goes. I'll let you take it.
Alright, what do I want to do?
All right. What does this thing do? It uses FP to boost your poise. So
Okay.
your poise, like the heavier armor you have, the more poise you have because it's less chance of you getting like your stride broken or your like combo broken,
Uh-huh.
or like if you're blocking, like it'll knock you off your feet.
Okay.
All right, all right. So where you want to meet? We'll go back. You want to try somewhere else? Anywhere else?
Well, we can, yeah, go. We'll meet at the same spot, but we'll go do that cave that's just right over here.
All right. Meat front, right? Meat front.
Yeah, right by that. Right by that.
All right. Let's try that over. I want to test out my fireball. Yeah, dude. Now that I have fire arrows and fireball, that's big. That's what they're. It takes big hits when you hit them with arrows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're getting the first fireball. I don't throw it too far, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed him. Did 90 damage to his shield. Bitch. With Greaves. These guys give you free money over here. Alright, let me put you inside the floor. Then all you gotta do is rest on the light. It refills everything. Regular. I did not mean to do that. Oh, maybe. Oh, you wanna fuck? 135, you fuck your shield up like that, did it? Ooh. Try fires this. Alright.
do 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 do.
Alright, where you at there, old man? Let's go. Same
By
crap.
the. Yeah, I'm by the gate.
Did you put the thing up?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't even looked for it
Yeah, it's up.
yet. Oh! Oh, you went way from the back, you little bitch. Oh, it's in the menu. Now you die. By my hand. And I take your greaves. How about them apples? Here you are. Here you is. I summons thee! I am the strong. I am the tall.
Daniel-san.
Unable to summon. Try
Connect
again.
there. Yep, try again. Alright, try this shit again. Marking.
Alright, I'm just literally sitting down.
It's marked.
Let's see. Right side. Oh, my runes are up there still. Here they were. Wagging. Here they go. That's cool though when you just do like basic like multiplayer, you can summon a pool and then look at the different characters to see what they look like before you can fight them.
Yeah. Excuse me. Let me guess. Same fucking shit. Alright, where are you at?
I'm standing right next to your summons.
I said I don't see you.
I can't.
Connection error. Returning to my world.
Alright, I'll try if maybe I can join you. Let me do the multiplayer thing.
Alright. I'll summon you.
Oh, I did it on the other side. Other side of the road.
You summoned me from the other side of the road?
No, I said I put my thing down the other side of the road, the gold thing.
Oh.
Just directly across right by that fire.
Okay, so are you summoning me then?
Yeah, just try. I'll summon you. Try it, I guess.
Okay, go to equipment. Nope. Go to inventory. Okay.
Yeah, what is it called? The finger remedy for coral calling.
Finger server, tarnished Wizened finger. Where the fuck did that go?
You might have to make another one if you use it. You just have to create one real quick.
No, I should have another one sitting somewhere.
It is in your inventory. It's the 6th row down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th row down.
7th row down?
Right next to the fingers and effigies and shit.
Okay. Okay, there's fingers. I have the tarnished finger. I have the small golden effigy. Finger server.
You have the finger remedy. Remember that they used before with the gold.
Nope.
string?
I'm gonna have to make one. All right, so I gotta find.
You should have the thing on there anyways.
Yeah, I just gotta find it. Where did I
Come on,
fuck?
big guy.
Where's it at? Oh, nope, duh, I gotta go to crafting. Okay, there we go. Alright, use. Are you kidding me? I use it right over the top of that. Okay, so why is it not doing anything?
Did you find my signature?
No, I don't find anything in the ground.
Did you use the? Did you use it after you created it? Did you
Yeah.
use it?
I used 2 of them already. I don't see anything in the ground.
All right, I'll cancel mine.
All right. All right. Jesus Christ, mate. Summoning now.
Summon this cooperator? Yes.
Come on.
You're up. That's the one thing they said they're having issues with. Alright, well,
Yep.
at least we know where. Alright, so let's try it again. I'll fucking.
Yep, I'll try it again. Marked. Come on.
Every time you come in and then you start coming in and you get kicked.
Let's see, 3rd time the charm.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying.
Shit. No. Alright, marked.
Nice.
Alright, there you are. Alright, that cave is up this way.
Alright.
Not too far. Come on, where are you? I know you're over here. Oh yeah, you got the speed too, don't you?
Oh yeah, I don't have heavy armor.
Yeah, here it is.
Ow!
Ooh, I got a bunch of things off of that guy.
Oh, I don't think I've been in this one yet. Can't get in there.
Must be a single only then.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah, but there's like a pool thing in there.
Yeah, there is. Alright, single only. I guess I know where we're going, back this way. Should we try to kill that fucker?
Yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. I gotta sit back down the light real quick and get all shit revved up.
Take your time.
Things are up there too. I can't sit down at it. Alright. Heal myself. Little high, little high.
Oh shit, he fucking demon
48.
fucker got me.
Ah, shit.
Oh, here he comes.
Oh, he's down.
Let's say, should we bring him out to the open over here?
Yeah.
Jesus.
But there's 150 damage on his ass when I hit him with the flames, though. Oh,
Yeah, but
oh, he's angry. Oh, blood. Oh.
oh, are you still alive? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh shit! I ain't got no fucking health left.
Well, I hit right in the face with the flaming.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, he's fucking pissed. I'm out of magic. I'm going for the kill. Oh, there we go. There we go. Got him again. Oh,
I was gonna try to come up and hit him, but
that got me. Oh my god. That guy got me pissed. I got him down to half health.
yep.
Fire arrows.
If we both had fire arrows, it'd probably make a difference. Okay, so where is that thing that you got to get that gives you the spirits or whatever?
I gotta, let me see, I'll send you the video on YouTube. I got all of my history. I'll send you a Discord.
Works for me.
This kind of tells you where this shit is. bridge.
Oh, you got shitting me. Let's see here. 19.
Straight towards the beginning, it says like the first thing you should start with.
My question is where is it? That would be the thing.
Elden Ring is finally here, and we're willing to bet that a lot of From Software fans have fully thrown themselves into the lands between already. If, however, you're a bit more of a newcomer to the genre, maybe you're just starting off or you're thinking about it, well, we have some tips for you. Want to know a little bit more about how the game's intricate combat system works, or how to get a few extra runes early on? Well, listen up. If you're just starting a new game of Elden Ring, remember that you shouldn't worry too much about which starting class or origin you choose. The class you go for matters less and less as you move through the game. Level up and develop your character. More experienced players will of course be trying to squeeze every last drop of efficiency out of their builds and every skill point they spend. But if you're just out to find your feet and have a good time, there really is no wrong choice here. So pick whichever character class you think will suit your preferred playstyle. If you're having difficulty choosing, Vagabond is a decent starting class for beginners, though bear in mind you'll probably need to unequip their helmet or halberd to pass the below 70% equip load threshold for a passable dodge roll. And believe us, you want a good dodge roll. While Vagabonds cannot inherently use magic to begin with, spending just a few runes in Faith or Intelligence and either buying or finding a staff or a seal will give them access to basic healing spells or weapon augmentations pretty quickly, making the class a way to gradually move from melee into the so-called spell sword hybrid class. The main takeaway is, do what feels right for you when it comes to choosing a character class. It may give you a leg up in the first few hours of the game, but there really are no bad choices here. Except for the Wretch, if you're a beginner. Maybe save that for your second playthrough. Oh, and another reason not to be too precious about choosing a class? A little later in the game, you'll unlock the ability to respec any levels you've gained since the beginning in exchange for a rare item known as a larval tear. So if you get really stuck, there's no need to restart the game. And a note to newcomers, never forget to keep putting points into Vigor and Mind if you're a spellcaster. Trust us, you do not want a tiny little HP bar by the time you reach endgame.
Glowing purple boat that was far away. You can imagine that being a hit.
A quick note on picking your starting gift or keepsake at the beginning as well. While each keepsake has its own use, some are definitely more useful than others. If you're not sure which one to choose, the Crimson Amber Medallion is probably a good shout, as it'll give you a small boost to your overall max health, which is never a bad thing. Alternatively, choosing a Golden Seed will grant you an extra use of your healing flasks at the very beginning of the game, once you use it at a Site of Grace under the Flasks category, making it another excellent choice regardless of your playstyle. Keep an eye out for golden seeds as you progress through the game as well. You can always find them at the base of a tiny golden Erd Tree sapling, which are easy to spot because they're golden and glowy. Another starting gift option, Stone Sword Keys, are very rare single-use items that enable you to break the seals on locked rooms or areas which usually contain valuable items. And having 2 of these on hand from the start will ensure that you'll be able to access any such loot immediately. Be aware though that some Stone Sword Key areas will give you unique loot, and some will give you unique loot by way of some unique and deadly enemies. Always be at least a little cautious when using them, basically.
Fire Marinette. Get him with my sword.
Out in the world, you may quickly encounter certain bugs rolling around sparkly balls that give off a distinctive tinkling sound. These are teardrop scarabs, and although they won't harm you, you should definitely look to kill them whenever you see them. There are several types of teardrop scarab, each of which drops a different type of reward when slain.
I killed
The
2 birds
trick,
and no
however,
feathers.
is
Damn you.
catching and killing them. They'll run whenever they spot you, have a decent amount of health, and disappear into thin air if you fail to kill them in a short amount of time. Not only that, but they are sneaky creatures, and they'll often roll you into harm's way of other stronger enemies if you don't pay attention to where you're chasing them. Red teardrop scarabs replenish your flask of crimson tears, and blue teardrop scarabs replenish your flask of cerulean tears. But even rarer, keep an eye out for silver and golden teardrop scarabs too, which drop unique weapon arts, sorceries, and incantations, which are usually well worth running into a potential trap for. Maybe. While you're out and about and looking for scarabs or just generally exploring the lands between, you'll see lots of stuff littering the ground. Animal remains, plants, fauna, but every so often you might see human skulls with glowing eye sockets. If you see these, especially if you're in the early stages of the game, make sure and break them with a melee attack, a roll, or just running over them with Torrent to reveal a golden rune consumable item. If you use these in the inventory menu, they'll instantly grant you 200 runes. Okay, that may not seem like a lot, but these add up, and every little helps, especially in the early game. You could save them and get yourself a cheeky extra level up, or you can use them in a pinch when you come across a merchant with some items you want. It is generally good practice to have a few gold runes saved up. Even later in the game, you'll get variations later that grant even larger numbers of runes when used, because they can make up the difference if you're caught short on leveling up just before entering a boss arena, ensuring no runes potentially go to waste on death.
Goodbye.
One more tip while you're out exploring the overworld. At night, you'll notice that the Erd tree occasionally sheds leaves that drift throughout the lands between, filling the air with flecks of gold. Now, this actually grants you an aura that temporarily increases the amount of runes you receive from killing enemies by approximately 4 to 5%. Maybe that doesn't seem like much, but this bonus stacks with others of the same type. So if you fancy going to see a merchant anytime soon, or the Round Table Hold, take advantage of a free boost by eliminating a few high-value enemies before the effect wears off. Similarly, sometimes you'll encounter regular enemies, even ones you've faced before, that every so often will sport glowing yellow eyes. These also seem to yield more runes than their usual form, so if you see them, take them down for a nice little bonus.
Oh yeah. That guy angered me.
Just the way we are.
Speaking of merchants and the like, this may seem obvious, but when perusing a merchant's inventory, or simply looking over some new items you've obtained, be sure to read the full item description, especially for key items. You might just get a little bit of extra lore, but surprisingly often, you'll learn more about how a piece of equipment functions or get an idea of where exactly to use it. And you might even uncover the locations of optional objectives or valuable loot. It's also a really good idea to read the descriptions of your starting equipment and any new items you acquire in the field, because the better you understand the tools that you have, the more effective they're going to be. This also goes for slightly later game items like Great Runes. If you're struggling to figure out how to activate Great Runes, their full in-game menu descriptions might just give you a hint. Slight gear change, but let's talk about combat.
Doesn't say anything.
Any new items you acquire in the field. Learn more about how a piece of equipment functions or get an idea of where exactly to use it. And you might even uncover the locations of optional objectives or valuable loot. It's also a really good idea to read the descriptions of your starting equipment and any new items you acquire in the field, because the better you understand the tools that you have, the more effective they're going to be. This also goes for slightly later game items like Great Runes. If you're struggling to figure out how to activate Great Runes, their full in-game menu descriptions might just give you a hint. Slight gear change, but let's talk about combat. Well, specifically, let's talk about the parts of combat that are not hitting and blocking. Poise is an important stat that represents your resistance to having your actions interrupted by enemy attacks. It's displayed in the equipment and status tabs of the main menu, and it is an integral part of combat that many players perhaps don't think about so much. Basically, it protects you from becoming stun-locked. That is, when you lose control of your character after taking multiple hits in rapid succession. Essentially, if you have a low poise stat, you'll be easily stunned by enemy attacks. Whereas with higher poise, it'll be much tougher for foes to stun you. The higher your poise, the greater your ability to successfully trade blows with an enemy without breaking your rhythm. And while you can equip armor and attire that enhances your poise, equipment with high poise and defense values tend to be heavier, meaning it'll be putting a bigger burden on your equip load and thus may limit your ability to dodge quickly and effectively, which, as we said before, is super important. The upside of heavier equipment, of course, is that you'll be taking less damage if an enemy does manage to hit you, and you'll be able to play a bit more offensively since you're less likely to have your actions cancelled by an enemy whose attack lands before yours does. I mean, really, it's just about weighing up what's more likely to benefit your build and playstyle personally. Some weapons, typically the bigger, slower, heavy-hitting types, will grant you a temporary poise boost while you perform certain parts of their movesets. This bonus occurs during the active portion of specific attack animations, and it stacks with any other poise you're already receiving from your equipment or weapon arts, such as Endure. This can further enhance your ability to trade blows with an opponent, but you should be aware that most bosses and stronger enemies will simply deal too much poise damage for you to rely on this kind of strategy against them. Similar to and alongside poise is a system known as super armor. While poise simply represents your resistance to having your actions interrupted by enemy attacks, super armor is your protection against being knocked into a staggered state, where certain enemies and other players can perform a critical hit. That is, a special attack which deals heavily multiplied damage and locks the attacker and attackee in a fixed animation, during which both are completely immune to damage from other sources. Staggering is generally announced by an animation and a distinctive thudding sound, and you may have already carried out a few of these successfully yourself on lower level enemies with jump or heavy attacks, maybe even in the tutorial of the game. Now, though you can bolster your poise via equipment and abilities, super armor is a permanently fixed value for everyone and everything in Elden Ring, including you. There's no way to actually know your super armor stat, but it is safe to say that player characters have very high super armor as a rule, and you're much more likely to suffer a critical hit as the result of a parry or a guard break than by having your super armor completely depleted. The important thing here to know is that enemies also have super armor, and each successful hit that you land against them will reduce it by a varying amount, which depends on the type of weapon you're using, as well as whether the attack was one- or two-handed, light or heavy. When your opponent's super armor falls to 0, you'll hear that booming sound and the enemy will collapse, at which point you can follow through with a critical hit, maybe even from a glowing weak spot that appears. Super satisfying, especially if it's a boss you've just staggered. Super armor will begin recovering on its own after a certain amount of time has passed without a target being hit. For players, this time is relatively short. Bosses tend to have longer delays before their super armor begins to recover, while normal and strong enemies are typically comparable to player characters. So probably the best way to get your head around all of this is to basically think of super armor as a kind of invisible stamina meter. It starts off full, it's depleted with each hit, and then gradually it begins to recover on its own when nothing is happening. So when you think about it this way, you can easily see how it's helpful to keep pressing the attack when attempting to deplete an enemy's super armor. If you don't land hits often enough, their super armor begins to recover, and then it becomes more of a game of exchanging blows until someone's health bar is entirely drained. which is of course a strategy in itself, but it's probably not the most efficient. Stopping super armor gauges
Where's
from
my
recovering
fucking
is why
sword?
thrown weapons like bone darts, kukri, and daggers can always be useful. Even their tiny hits can stop an enemy's super armor from recovering if you're finding it's difficult to get in close yourself and keep up a string of stronger attacks. And of course, you can play the entirety of Elden Ring without once giving second thought to poise or super armor, but knowledge of systems like this can make a difference, especially in boss fights when whittling down your foe's health bar or interrupting their stronger attacks can mean the difference between your life and death.
Foolish ambitions to bliss. Oh, it's you. Don't pay me any mind. It's
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything from this guy.
Just lay out your arms.
Finally, some advice on your weapons. While using runes to level up your character is of course important and will help you better stand against enemies, the single most significant boost you'll get to your damage output is by upgrading your weapons directly. Doing this at the anvil at the Church of Ela or at a blacksmith a little later on in the game not only raises your weapon's base damage, but it also improves its attribute scaling, granting you larger returns with no additional stat investment gained by leveling up. Now pay attention to which stat your weapon scales with. It's no good plowing loads of points into strength if you're going to just go with weapons that tend to align more with dexterity builds, for example. As a general rule of thumb, bigger, heavier weapons rely on strength to wield, smaller, faster armaments rely on dexterity. Spend some time in your level up, equipment, and item menus to have a look for yourself and get a handle on how things generally work. You probably don't want to spread your stats too thinly, but equally, you may not want to pour everything into one or two attributes either, thus making your build maybe a touch too specialized for the many situations you'll likely find yourself in as you progress through the game. And of course, keep an eye out for smithing stones, as they're crucial to leveling up your weapons too. Mines, which you can usually spot on your map, are a really good source of these. So these are just a few basic, good-to-know tips for anyone getting started in the lands between. But we do have plenty more where those came from, so if you're interested in some advanced Elden Ring tips, do let us know in the comments below. And let us know how you're liking the game in general. We have plenty more Elden Ring videos on the channel and more to come in the future. So make sure and like and subscribe if you're new so you don't miss out. Thanks for watching. Bye!
Oh, help, I'm coming for you, bitch. I'm doing. Gotcha. Yeah, go. Whew. Yeah. Skeletal militiaman ashes. Nice. That's dope. Can't wait to eat these motherfuckers. 44 Picos, that's it? Oh, we'll put that in the lineup. Goodbye, Mr. Jellyfish.
I know I got a feather. The feather, is that a flight pinion?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you need that, you need bones, like small bones or something like that, and then you can craft arrows. So you trying to do craft arrows?
Yeah, I'm trying to, but I only got 2 feathers.
Yeah, you need one feather and 3 bones.
I have 2 feathers and 12 bones.
Let me see. Item crafting. Yeah, it says thin beast bones, you need 3, and flight pinion 1. And that'll give you 10 arrows. Bone arrow fletched.
I don't even see them on here.
You know what? Did you buy any of the cookbooks yet?
Nope.
Probably why. Yeah, you have to buy the cookbooks. That's like some of the first stuff I bought.
Alright. I'll kill this guy and then go back and buy some cookie books.
They're at that vendor that you kept
Yep.
going to. Ooh, I can finally use one of these swordstone keys. Nice. Hopefully there's something down here, that's good. A fucking whole bunch of turtles in here. Weird.
Yeah, them turtles fuckers, that's funny.
A chest. Fucking A. Alright, big one. A green turtle talisman.
Nice.
Let's see what it does.
Changes you into a turtle.
Raise stamina recovery. I need that. I have the attack on horseback right now. It's nice.
Yep.
Alright. What happens if you like kill every one of these turtles? See how they like fire.
What do I got
They do
here?
not like fire. It cooks them in one shot.
There's another fucking cave.
What's turtleneck meat go for these days?
I don't know. Oh, these are the catacombs. I'm gonna rest. Okay, it's the middle of the day out. Watch me. I'll get to the guy there and it'll be nighttime.
I've never seen him sleep ever.
I have several times. Cannot travel to the... What the fuck?
Are you in
Are you in a cave?
Yeah,
Yeah, you can't travel fast travel when you're in caves.
gotcha. Yep, and it's nighttime. And he's fucking bent over and he's sleeping.
I don't think I've ever seen him sleep. It's so funny.
Fucking cocksucking motherfucker.
It's like so much to explore. It's ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
You can go at your own pace. Beautiful.
Yep.
Once you get out of like that beginning stage where you gotta get your shit together, all of a sudden you'll start seeing yourself being able to fucking smoke people.
Yeah.
I gotta rewatch the video to try to send me the right one.
Yeah, I need to get more than just one fucking vendor.
Yeah, I wanted more than that one fucking vendor, and then I hit him with a sword and he got mad at me. Bitch.